Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No, don't. No. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
When it comes to towing, seeing is believing. That's why Chevy Truck's advanced camera technology offers up to 8 available cameras for 14 unique views, so you can focus on the view that really matters. Chevrolet, together let's drive. Learn more about Chevy Trucks at Chevy.com. Safety or driver assistance features are no substitute for the driver's responsibility to operate the vehicle in a safe manner. Read the vehicle owner's manual for important feature limitations and information.
Think you know the Brooks Ghost? Think again. Introducing the all-new, better-than-ever Ghost 16. Now with nitrogen-infused cushioning for lightweight, supreme softness that feels good every step, every street, every single day. So go ahead, take your daily joyride in the all-new nitrogen-infused Ghost 16. It'll turn your everyday miles into everyday endorphins. Let's run there. Head to brooksrunning.com to learn more.
Welcome to the Eagles Checkdown, right here on the Eagles Pinpoll Podcast Network. I'm your host, Phil Stiefel, at Bearded Knowledge on all social media platforms, bringing you the fastest under 10-minute Eagles podcast, news, notes, and opinions every single day, right here, like I said, on the Eagles Pinpoll Podcast Network. Guys, the Eagles lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 33-16. It is Monday. It is Overreaction Monday. And look, I'm just going to speak from the heart this episode. I'm not going to give you too many stats. I'm not going to give you too many, fine points. This is going to be from my heart today. And I know Eagles Nation wants to overreact. Eagles Nation wants to freak out. Eagles Nation wants to crush Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts, et cetera, and rightfully so. This was an ill-prepared team for Sunday's game against the Buccaneers. This is a team that let Baker Mayfield look like a combination of prime Tom Brady throwing the ball, prime Cam Newton running the ball. But realistically speaking, guys, we're 2-2, entering the bye week. We traveled to Brazil. We've traveled to New Orleans. We've traveled to Tampa. We're missing our 2 top wide receivers in A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. We're missing all-pro, Hall of Fame, Lane Johnson, right tackle. We're playing at 104-degree heat. 105-degree heat. What did you expect, Eagles Nation? Does Nick Sirianni have to prepare this team a little bit better? Absolutely. Does Jalen Hurts have to stop turning the ball over? No doubt about it. But I predicted coming into the season 2-2, win-loss. That was my exact prediction. Because I tried to tell everybody on Training in the AM, my regular morning show linked below, that this start of the schedule with a new offensive coordinator, a new defensive coordinator, with this travel, with everything going on, all the new pieces on this team on defense and on offense, that there were going to be some struggles. Now, some may call me an idiot. Some may call me I don't know ball. Some may call me blind. But realistically speaking, this was the best overall outcome we could have expected from this season, the start of this season. Look, Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni, there is still an absolute issue. Jalen Hurts had another opportunity to show support to Nick Sirianni after this devastating loss. And again, asked about the communication between the two, and he said, well, we have our moments. And obviously you don't like to see that. But you already see cracks and chinks in the armor, from defensive. This game against the Buccaneers was not lost because of the offense. The offense was bad. The offensive game plan was terrible. But the defense just straight up was dog trash on Sunday. And then, we could get into the X's and O's and who performed extra worse on the defense. But you got Darius Slay out there chirping on Twitter after the game. Darius Slay and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson running their mouth nonstop. That's not going to bring the group tighter together. That's going to fracture the team even more. You got Devin White, who still has not been active for a game yet, out there liking and retweeting and then commenting afterwards, it was a mistake, when the Buccaneers are forcing a turnover. This locker room, this defense is the problem on this team. I don't care how great Zach Bond has looked. I don't care that Quinion Mitchell is still performing at a pretty elite level for a rookie. This defense is bad. It's poorly built. There is not enough depth. And couple all that together with 105-degree heat, what did you expect? Somebody needed to step up on the defense. Someone needed to make a play countless times. Every time the Eagles offense got us back into the game, the Eagles defense let it up. So this is eerily similar to a lot of the Donovan McNabb hate from back in the day. When Donovan McNabb would put a team on his shoulders and try his hardest to do what he can, the defense would let it up. I tried to warn everybody about Vic Fangio, and the style of defense he runs was not going to win him many fans. Big picture. Everybody loved the idea of Vic Fangio. Well, this Vic Fangio defense is soft. It's poorly constructed. We had one good defensive game in 4 games last week, and we were right back to giving up big chunk plays, playing soft defense, not getting pressure on Baker. Baker Mayfield was sacked 12 times in the last 2 weeks. We got 2 sacks on him this week. We'd only hit him those 2 times. Never rattled his cage whatsoever. This loss is not on Jalen Hurts and his turnover. This loss is on the Eagles' defense. This loss is on the fact of missed tackles. I don't know what the final number was, but before halftime, we saw a graphic put up on the screen of 10 missed tackles already in the game. Not the year, not a whole game, less than a half of football, there were 10 missed tackles. I don't know what the end number was. Let me tell you something. You're not going to win many football games missing that many tackles with that poor of discipline on the defensive line. When you have, I forget what the exact number was, but you've got guys cramping up left and right because they're playing so many snaps in 105-degree heat. Well, that's a poorly constructed team from Howie Roseman. And Howie Roseman gets a lot of love in the city, even from me. But let's be honest. Some of these issues on defense are on Howie Roseman. Bryce Huff, on Howie Roseman. Nolan Smith, on Howie Roseman. The fact that you got to lean on Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis so much on Howie Roseman. So, again, I'm talking out of passion. I'm recording this Sunday night after a nice dinner, after a terrible Eagles loss. You're not getting facts here. You're getting opinion from this guy. Let me tell you something. The opinions are that Jalen Hurts is going to get over the next 2 weeks all of the criticism. All you're going to hear about is cut Jalen Hurts, cut ties with him, and fire Nick Sirianni. And while there's a sliver of truth to some of that, that is not what the problem is. You went out there and let a very average Buccaneers team dominate your defense. And that's, to me, that's the problem. Now, I've been against the idea of Hassan Reddick, but you got to find a pass rush. You got to find defensive tackle depth. You might have to consider Devin White, even if he doesn't want to be here. You might got to consider Isaiah Rodgers, who had a big muff on that punt there, blocking a player into Cooper DeJean and all that. There's so many issues with this team, but all everyone's going to talk about is Jalen Hurts on the fumble. And Jalen Hurts on that fumble, you can't fumble that ball. When you step up, you avoid a blitz and step up, you got to know that guy's still back there. But why were we running a play where it was designed to develop Grant Calcaterra 35 yards down the field when we have no wide receivers, when we have a bad patched-together offensive line? Why was that play design even there? This goes back to the Devontae Smith interception last week. Poor play design based on the personnel you have. Kellen Moore is just as much to blame as everybody else. And Kellen Moore is going to get no blame for this. This is what the problems are with the Philadelphia Eagles. It's not all Jalen Hurts' fault. It's not all Nick Sirianni's fault. You're not going to fire Nick Sirianni at this point. You just can't fire a coach 4 weeks into a season when you're 2-2 with everything that's been faced. Now, Maybe depending on how the rest of the season goes, we'll have that conversation in February or March. But right now, you're not firing Nick Sirianni. That would do more harm than good at this point. You're not cutting ties with Jalen Hurts. That just makes no sense. But let me tell you something. They have to be better. But it's not on them. This is on the defense. This is on the coordinators. This is an entire team loss right here. But only two guys are going to get the blame on Monday throughout all of the sports media channels and networks and stuff like that. And I'm here to tell you, yes, even as the biggest Jalen Hurts supporter, he's got to be better. But you know what? You can't put all the blame on him. The fact that Saquon Barkley ran 10 times in a game that, yeah, we lost by 17, but it was never really out of reach through most of the game. They had multiple opportunities to make this a ball game. You had 30 passes from Jalen Hurts to 20 rushes, but 8 of those rushes were from Jalen Hurts. 3 or 4 of them were not design rushes. So you really had about 33, 34 pass plays to 16 or 17 run plays called. Kellen Moore is not going to get the blame for that, but he should. There's so much to get into. It is going to be a jam-packed week right here on the Eagles Checkdown on the Eagles Pimple Podcast Network. Also, jam-packed week on Trending in the AM, which is linked below my morning show Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9:30, where we get all your opinions heard. And I know a lot of opinions are going to crush Jalen Hurts on the regular. But you know what? I'm going to do my best to keep a level-headedness all week long on the channel, guys. Make sure you're following along. Make sure you click that link down below. I greatly appreciate it, guys. I'm Phil Stiefel. This is the Eagles Checkdown on the Eagles Pimple Podcast Network. The world's not ending, Eagles Nation, but it's going to be a tough 2 weeks. Go Birds, and bubbles up to you.
Reporting live from under my blanket, I'm Susan Curtis with Dunkin' at Home. Breaking news, pumpkin spice iced and hot coffees are back. I'll pass it to Mr. Curtis with his blanket for the full story.
That is so right, Susan. You know, it's never too early to get in a spicy mood. I'm talking cinnamony goodness that's so tasty, people don't want to leave their blankets either. Back to you.
No, back to you.
All you.
The home with Dunkin' Pumpkin Spice is where you want to be.
Shop Macy's VIP sale, going on now. Use your coupon or Macy's card and take an extra 30% off the latest fall trends from designers that rarely go on sale. And save 15% off skincare, makeup, fragrances, and more. Plus, shop fall specials for even more great deals on top brands at Macy's. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.